What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Techbud Solutions. So thank you guys again for joining us for another recap on today's trading. So starting off the week, personally, I did horrible today. I broke one of my rules, which led to hitting my max loss. But because of this group and because of the platform that we do have, a lot of people were able to benefit from it, and that's the whole point. So that is something that I clearly stated I like pretty much talking about my best practices and my mistakes so you guys can learn from them and profit off of them if possible. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown how the day went and kind of what went wrong and what I have to do to let that never happen again. So again, we started the morning how we usually do, a couple traders saying good morning to one another. I started with just some pre-market movers on how they were doing. Was showing that DGAS was up pre-market, closed at 357 the day before. Pre-market was around 4.01, so it was up about this one was up about 11 to 10%. RGSC was 9% when I give it a shout out. That was a huge gain, hit highs of 30% nearly today. And people just started jumping in right then and there. I got stuck with CIE, and CIE, ATEC, and NVAX were the three stocks I traded today, and it led to my red day. So I'm going to kind of break it down for you guys and explain to you. ATEC was my biggest loss altogether, and then CIE didn't go well either. And then NVAX was just a quick in and out, hit my stop loss on each one of them. And I'm going to talk about what happened to one of the stocks today, and that's going to be ATEC when it hit a circuit breaker. So something crazy happened when it went below $3, shot all the way down to 263. That is actually when I stop lossed out, and then when I let you guys know, you guys actually ended up jumping in and then writing it back all the way up to $3, making 20+% profit. So if you had $10,000, that would have been nearly $2,000 profit just because of that little alert that we sent out. And again, that's the whole point of this group. The whole point of this group is for me to kind of just teach you the basics and fundamentals of trading, and you able to just use that same concept and mark and label different stocks as good buys or as good sells. So this is the platform that I do, or the group that I started. It's Techbud Solutions. It's a free group you can join. I'm going to provide you with the link down below. Again, it's a free group. You surround yourself with like-minded individuals. We trade Monday through Friday, and then it's pretty much a group where we communicate with one another very often, especially in the group chat application. So if you guys want access to this group chat, my email is provided for you down below. It's techbuds@mail.com. All you have to do is reach out to me, ask me why you want to be a part of it, and then tell me what your goals are. And then if I see that it's something that I can help you out with, then I'll send you the welcome document. And then with that, you'll be connected with nearly, with all different members. I believe it's 1,266 members as of today worldwide, from all different sorts of ages and from different experience levels, from beginners to professionals as well. So we definitely do welcome every type of trader, no matter where you stand. And if you're willing to learn and you're willing to share your best practices, then I really feel like this free group is going to be a group that you would truly benefit from. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So CIE is one that we were trying to jump in right away. 110 was a resistance, a safety that was very strong, as we're able to see or go back 7 days. This is a 10-day analysis. It was not going below 110. I should have just stopped there. I should have just realized that once it went below 110, just to cut my losses. I was getting greedy. I thought I was gonna, I was looking, kind of just hoping that it would, pick up. And again, I let my emotions get to me, which led to me losing more than I should have. I told you guys that I had a stop loss at 109, which I did. I usually set them at 1099, but I actually had my stop loss to be exact at 1.0899. which led me to lose, twice as much as, or if not, five times as much as I would have, because I usually cut my losses at 1/10 of a cent. So it dropped below. Everyone was doing different things. So let me go ahead and get a little bit more into it. Told you guys about SCYX as it was going, below the safety of $3. A couple of you jumped into that one, as that one was considered or labeled as a good buy. It hit lows, I believe, of 297, 294, which isn't too bad of a buy, but not a lot of volume with that one today. And then ATEC was at 306, which was a pretty strong safety. So I'm pretty much going to walk you guys through what it was that I did today, and ATEC being one of the biggest ones. I think that will be helpful. So ATEC, how it played out today. Closed at 298, which is pretty bad. And realistically, I should have seen this. And this is a thing that I don't do too often, and it's building trend lines. So if you see the trend line from there, all right, so I built this trend line, and realistically, I should have seen that it's staircasing down. You know, it catches and then it bounces up, catches and then bounces up, catches, bounces up, and then, you know, catches, and it's pretty much kind of plateaued at that $3 mark. 298, 302 is kind of where it's staying at, so hopefully it can bounce from there. But realistically, I should have noticed or realized that, you know, every safety that it was setting within the last couple of days, it's been breaking. So buying at 306, I should have cut my losses, you know, right away. I cut my losses right at, you know, 2.999, which gave me about, you know, 7 cents of loss that I should have not taken whatsoever. That was my biggest loss for the day. And then all of a sudden it went all the way down to, like I told you guys, 263 because of a circuit breaker. So I believe it was a mistake that, you know, the stock itself had, and they kind of apologized for it on there because they halted the stock together because they saw something weird happen since it, you know, dropped all the way down there. I can't even imagine for how frustrated people would be if, you know, you get filled down here because of how low it went, and you stop loss out, because sometimes when the volume is so high, you can, you know, stop loss at, you know, at the low point of 263, and with that, now you lost nearly, you know, 20-30%, you know, of what you had, and then it popped right back up, which a couple of my members were able to sell at. So they bought in at that 263, 270 area, and then sold around that $3 simply because of, you know, my mistake. I talked about it, told them that, you know, it was dropping, and if you go 6 months back, it actually touched that same exact point, because it had all of a sudden a huge drop, touched that point. I think that's why it caught so well around that, you know, 260 area. But overall, definitely not a good day. I should have identified the trend of just, you know, that downward staircase, and with that, that means, you know, you should kind of stick to your overall, no matter what stock you're trading, you know, you should be sticking to your plan. So I bought in at 306. I should have cut my losses at 305.99 since I knew that was a strong safety net. And then, you know, hoping for setting my alerts to sell around the 320, 325 area. The volume wasn't there. I should have just, you know, all the signs were there. I just wasn't paying attention, and because of that, led to a red day. So I'm learning from my mistakes, shared my best practices with you guys, and again, that's the whole point of this group, for me to share everything that I learned today, so I don't repeat it again, and so you guys don't have to take these types of losses in effort to promote growth, right? So that's my trade on ATEC. Definitely did not enjoy losing on that stock today. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about NVAX. So NVAX had a really strong safety at $1.30, as you guys can see. You know, it went down, caught, came back up to around 145. So I was kind of hoping for that. Hit a little bit to like the 131, picked up, and then in a sense was also staircasing down. Should have identified that. Should have cut my losses at 1.299. Ended up trying to held all the way to the 128 or 127.99 to be exact. So I cut my losses a lot higher than I should have in a sense. So I was not sticking to my plans, and that's what led to my, you know, not being successful today, as in breaking my rules. I let the emotions get, you know, to the best of me. Since I took my loss on ATEC, I was just trying to kind of even out for the day. And when you go and kind of just hope for the best and not really analyze the stocks and let your emotions get to it, then that's when you start to encounter problems, because you start making decisions and, you know, investments more based on, you know, just wanting to break even and a little bit more aggressive. And for me personally, that definitely does not work well. So, you know, you should be trading when you're, you know, in that right state of mind, and you have a plan set up and it makes sense to you, and make sure that your emotions don't, you know, get the best of you. And again, altogether, I maxed out at more than I wanted to, with my overall just, you know, loss for the day. Lost nearly, you know, a little bit over $200. So definitely way over what, you know, I ever want to lose in a day, because of how we trade, how we set up our rules and stuff like that. And it was because I was trying to chase a stock, and that's definitely not something that you guys should be doing. You guys should be looking at stock, making sure it makes sense, and being able to label it as a good buy. So my next step for NVAX would be trying to catch it around the 123 area, as it tends to bounce pretty well around that, and if not, then set a stop loss at 1.229, in effort to cut my losses super short, just in case it does go below it, and understand that there's a resistance at 130, because that was an old safety, now it's a new resistance. So being able to sell from 123 to 130 would be my ideal price point for NVAX itself. And that's pretty much my analysis and my recap on NVAX. I'm going to talk to you guys about CIE. This one really upset me today because I kept trying to chase it, and again, should have not done that. Overall, as you guys can see, within the past month, altogether has not gone really below 110 as it was holding very well. So I'm going to draw this, nice little fine line around that 110 area. It was a really strong support, broke that support, should have just cut my losses there, but broke one of my rules. I held a little bit longer than I should have. Should have realized, if you go a little bit further back, you see that there is a support around that $1 area right there. And actually, there's a support right there, and I think that's why it caught so well. It actually went a little bit below it. I think hit lows of 102 today. And if it breaks $1, just know that it's most likely going to come down to that 90 cent, or looks like there's a support right here around 93. And then down here around the 83 cents. So it looks like it catches at every 10 cents. So 103, 93, and then 83 cents tends to be pretty good support levels. So if it breaks below that, just know it's most likely going to continue bleeding down to this point. So cut your losses short, buy back in, and go in with that same plan. Cutting your losses at less than 1%. Overall risk, if you do the 3 trades, less than 1% altogether, or less than 3% at most, and you're promoting growth as in you have a plan and on where you can sell. So if you buy in at the 93, then you can sell at 103 or 102.99. If you buy 83, then you can sell at 93 because you understand that old safeties become new resistance levels. But I was pretty much chasing it after the drop below the 110 area, as I should have kind of just sold after that point. But no, I was trying to chase it, which led to, again, my failure today. So I do apologize again for breaking the rules. I know you guys don't really care because it wasn't your money, but as kind of just the group mentor, the group leader, I want to stick to my best practices and stick to the rules, right? And the only way that I can hope for you guys to do the same is if I kind of in a sense lead by example. So I'm really sorry again for letting you guys down for my trades today. I'm happy for all those that were able to lock in their profits. All of you guys did so well today, being able to lock in, even for those new traders, locking in over 20% profit because of some of the alerts that I sent out. So a huge shout out to Dawson for being super active within our group today. Edgar was doing very well. He said that he jumped in on my drop after ATEC dropped down to 263. He said he was able to lock in some profit, then it wasn't able to sell. So hopefully locked in a good amount there. And then Angelo was very active within our group, so a huge shout out to him. I'm gonna try to go down the list to give you guys a shout out on the people that I thought stood out today. So Alex has been doing very well, and although he is a new trader within our group, he's been doing very good on supporting everyone within the group. So I definitely want to have you guys and definitely encourage growth within our group altogether. So for all those new traders, make sure you welcome them, make sure that they feel welcome to ask questions so you guys can kind of answer the questions as well, because I'm not the only one that's in this group. So being able to answer someone's question can actually help you when it comes to long-term education, or just really understanding what it is that you are doing, as they can kind of remind you of some best practices or some rules that you've kind of forgot of because you've been in the game for a little bit longer. Brandon, super he actually corrected me this morning because of something that I said that was incorrect. Huge shout out to Brandon. Definitely a huge member within our group. He's been doing very well and staying active within our group altogether. So I did have somewhat my stop loss set, but definitely not at the point that I wanted to cut my losses short. Ed Allen and Edgar were able to jump in at that 263, being able to lock in that profit. And then this is where I said that ATEC was halted because of a circuit breaker, and then solid profit. Huge shout out to Julian bringing in 10% profit on his stock that he chose today that had nothing to do with what I was kind of sharing, but a couple members within this group share their best practices and share what they're trading. With that other members are able to jump in and see the potential in that, and that's the whole point of this group. So huge shout out to him and all those that were able to jump into that, being able to lock in their profits. It's not always just me and whatever I trade is what you guys should be looking at. Is you guys should be looking at whatever everyone else is trading and kind of do a technical analysis on every stock and see if you see the benefit or the potential in that. And if you do, make the decision and set up a plan and execute. Go and don't break your rules. So to Adil, he brought in $160 worth of profit. Huge shout outs to him. Joel brought in profit today. You guys were super active today. Alfredo, yeah, thank you again for being so active within our group. Tristan, sorry for again, shutting out CIE, but it looks like you cut your losses where you should have. Or good job staying disciplined when it came to, sticking to the rules and stuff like that. And then we are filming, I filmed a video today with a couple supercars. I was able to drive the McLaren MP4 12C, so that's going to be for tomorrow's vlog. And I went with a couple buddies, so, extremely fun day. Although the morning didn't start off to a good note, definitely ended it, with my friends and stuff like that. So good people that I surround myself with. And then Julian just says that he made $120 today, so huge shout out to him. Joel did bring in $60 worth of profit, so congrats to him. Jay, being a new member, was able to bring in huge amounts of profit. So from 154 to 185, we're talking about like 20-25% profit with that trade alone. So huge shout out to him. A couple new members just joining the group, and people giving them kind of the breakdown on what to expect, what to kind of look into, what to watch out for, and tips and tricks on how to be successful when it comes to trading. So as you guys can see, it's definitely a very welcoming group. We called this the little starter pack, or at least Edgar did, for the different apps that we use to trade. So Landon, being one of our new traders within our group, is definitely very motivated based on what he is saying to participate within our group. So I'm really excited for what it is that he has to bring to the group and on how we can help him be successful. And then Marco's bringing in from $30 going to $45, seeing a pretty much 50% profit. So if you had, I give him the example, if you had $10,000 with that same type of trade, you would have had $5,000 profit, just in a different scale, right? But just shows you the potential on what you guys can do as you guys continue to grow your account. So thank you guys again so much for joining. If you guys haven't done so already, we do upload daily recaps on our trading to kind of help you guys out and understand trading penny stocks a little bit better. And if you guys would like to be a part of this group, make sure you subscribe and make sure that you click on the link down below where you can join the free Facebook group Techbud Solutions to surround yourself with over 1,000 people worldwide that are here to promote growth in all different markets. So hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and let's make sure that we continue the week on a green note. Take care, guys.